Welcome everyone to today's Empyrion Workshop Showcase. Join me as we take a look at the Farsearcher CV10. So today's design is a creator requested look at the Farsearcher CV10. This is an unlock level 25 size class 10 capital vessel coming to us from creator ericsody. Okay, starting on the outside, there's a couple things I want to point out. One is that this does not have any landing gear on it. So you're actually docking this when you land on just some of the blocks themselves, as you can see here. The next thing I want to point out is that there are 3 cargo doors on each of the hangar sections. However, the top 3 are actually flush and enclosed. The bottom 3 here, starting at the hover vessel one, you can see there's actually a gap between the bottom ones and the ramp here that extends down. There's also a problem with numerous spots through the ship in terms of signal logic where things are not working the way they should. That may be from an update or something, but I have tried reloading this game a couple of times and the signals still don't work. So in this case, I do not have signals triggering the doors or the ramp to work here for the hover vessels. So let's just go ahead and fly right through the doors to get inside. So once you're actually inside the hover vessel bay, you'll see that you have the repair bay module right here in the floor in front of you and the switch to turn it on or off over to the side. You also see we have some high walkways along the walls. However, these walkways are simply for viewing things inside. There's no functional use. There's no hidden doors or anything like that. This is simply so you can walk up and look down at your vessels. Another interesting aspect in this room is the fact that there is an inside turret, not just a sentry gun, but a full-fledged turret. This is not something I see normally in the designs I review, so I'm not sure how well this is actually going to function when the hangar bay doors are closed. Walking through the door into this room, we come into our production area. Over here, you see we have 6 cargo boxes along with an oxygen station. We have 2 advanced constructors right next to the elevator in the middle. On this side, we have 6 more cargo boxes, a repair station, and a medic station. Here's another situation where signal logic is not working properly. This is an LCD screen that tells you there's storage deck 2 up here, and it's not working because it's not triggering that I am in the room. But coming up the elevator, we see we have many more cargo boxes. We also have some harvest cargo boxes up here, meaning you have plenty of storage space and it's right above your advanced constructors. On the second elevator here leading up, you see we have another LCD screen that is not working at the moment because of the signals not working correctly. But if we go on up, we will come up to deck number 2, which is the small vessel hangar bay area. In this corner, we have an O2 station. We also have a sentry gun here, as well as another big turret inside. In this corner, you see we have a repair station and a medic station as well. And then we have another elevator here, leading us up to the next floor, where we have even more parking space for your small vessels, as well as another sentry gun. Here in the floor, right in front of the elevator, we have another screen that's not working. And behind the elevator section, we have a door and another screen that's not working, but we will come back to this point later. Coming to this door, we have another screen here, once again, not working, but it tells you where some stuff is. And going on through, we come into an area where, hey, now the screens are working in here. We have arrows pointing to drive bay. Here's our fuel storage, and fuel is spelled wrong, at least in terms of English spelling for it. But here we have our fuel storage. And it does make note that there is no oxygenation in the rooms. There's no ventilator in this section, so you will not be able to breathe out there. Also, no smoking. Now here in front of us on the floor is a screen telling us through the next door is the hospital, engine room, crew quarters, and bridge. So going through here, we come into another hallway, as well as an elevator right here. But starting with this point, let's go on through here. We pass through the door, the shutter door, and we are in the engine room area, where you see we have 2 large generators, as well as our warp drive over here in the corner. Taking the teal colored door, we come into the bathroom, restroom facilities, where we have our toilet, we have shower, we have nice little counter sink, And that's basically it. It keeps the same color scheme throughout with the walls and gives a nice variation to some of the other areas of the ship. Now, before we go through the red door, I want to point out again, this is another section where the triggers, where the signals are not working. The sign here says bathroom for this says hospital, and interestingly enough, the ceiling is actually RCS rather than regular ceiling tiles. But now, going through the red door, we come into the lower level of the hospital, where you see we have our medical scanners, and then taking the elevator up, we come into the bed area where, they are staying when they need to be observed. They're not ready to go back to work. And then coming up around here, we have 2 clone chambers and 2 medic stations, as well as an oxygen station up here. This is where I guess maybe the x-rays are done or something like that. And then in the corner, we have a nice little spot where we can stand over the elevator. Personally, I think I would have just made it where the elevator came all the way up here and made it a little bit more simplified to get up here. Continuing on down the hallway, we are heading now into the armory, crew quarters, captain quarters, and bridge. Now here you can actually see we have lights and signs working, and it's a weird combination here. There's actually shutter doors, and 2 of the shutter doors will automatically trigger, but the middle one does not. But going through here, we are in the Armory Elevator, which takes us up here. And notice this part here. This is something similar to what I have seen recently in Danielle Marie's design, where because of the placement of the shutter door, it prevents use of another elevator block, meaning that you will have to use your jetpack to continue on up the elevator into the armory. But once inside the armory, you'll find in each corner a set of armor lockers, giving you 8 total in here. There's also cargo boxes in the middle, and of course ammo boxes lining the walls. And in this corner above everything, we also have another repair station. And taking this blue door, we are heading into the crew quarters, where we have actually an adjacent little area here that has just the elevator in the end. But going in here, we come into the bathroom type bunk area, where we see we actually have our shower and toilet over here, but also some bunks and lounge area down here. Taking the elevator in this room, we come up into another section where we have a little bit nicer hallway, but coming through 2 doors, we are in another crew quarters bunk area where we have more lounge, more bunk beds, and just basically the same type of thing, as well as floating pots with plants. Now, taking the blue door at the end of the hall, we come into the captain's quarters, which is actually much nicer than everything else, of course. You've got a nice little setup here with the TV, the couch lounge area, and a nice little coffee table in the middle of the room. And going through here, we come into his personal private area, where he has his bed, his own bathroom and shower, and just his own screens for keeping up with what's going on in the ship. But now, moving on into the bridge area, we come into here, you see we have a sentry gun on this side, and then on each side we have the same setup, but in a slightly mirrored fashion. Over here we have a large number of seats, it's a bunch of screens everywhere, we have a sentry gun, cargo box, and then right here behind this screen, a pilot seat. And in the other bridge room, we also have the same setup, just in a sort of mirrored fashion. You see the same pilot seat setup, the same desk, same big screens, but the sentry gun is in the floor in this room, as opposed to on the ceiling. Now, each of these rooms, next to the doorway where you come in, there is an elevator. This elevator will lead you up to another bridge section, but each one also suffers the same thing we saw earlier, where a shutter door does cut the elevator short, where there's a block here that's missing, and as a result, you need to use your jetpack in order to get all the way up the elevator shaft. So here we are in the main bridge area, where you see we have numerous workstations, passenger seats, we have the 2 elevators, a sentry gun, medic station, cargo box, the main pilot seat, which most interestingly is in front of the bullet shield rather than behind it. I think I would feel safer as the pilot being back here when I'm getting shot at, rather than having that protecting me from being shot in my back. So now back in the middle room, we're going to take this elevator all the way up into this hallway, where we find another sign that's not working because of signal logic issues, and another room where the signals are not working for the lights or the signs, but we are in the grow bed area. You see here we have 9 grow beds on each corner, and that gives us a total of 18 here. We also have a nice spot where we can see into the back of the elevator, but you cannot come through here. You have to go out the other side. I think I would have preferably just put doors on both sides so you can exit from either way, making it quicker. Coming over here, we have the same setup, more grow beds, so this gives you a total of 36 grow beds down here, as well as 5 fridges and a food processor. But if we take this elevator up, we come into a larger section up top where we have the same basic layout as downstairs, but also the middle section. This gives you a complete total of 90 grow plots for the entire ship. So heading through the far door, we are now coming into the Sky Lounge, where you see we have a very nice lounge setup, multiple TVs, multiple seats, nice lounge area, just really nice place for the crew to hang out. And there's also a nice bit of light coming in from the skylights where you can actually get sunlight or even good moonlight to come in and create just a nice atmosphere for your crew when they're relaxing. Now, to allow for the very nice sunny skylight area, but still give protection in case of combat, the use of 2 hangar doors has been made to make it where this can be protected. And it does kind of look a little wonky right now, as you can see, because of the hangar bay doors sticking off here. But if I trigger the forward battle shades, you'll see it also still leaves a gap here. So I really feel just like the back hangar bay doors for the hover vessel area, there is that gap that probably should just be adjusted, maybe a little bit of tweaking and placement to make sure those gaps no longer appear. Now back here by the elevator that brought us up to the grow bed area, if we go through this doorway, we now come into our oxygen storage, as well as some more fuel storage. It's very much similar to the pathway we had down below. You see here we have signs working showing farms, and on this side oxygen and fuel storage. And then passing on through, we come back to the flight deck, which gives us access to the said doorway we saw earlier, where the sign is not working there either. So once again, this is the Far Searcher CV-10, and it is an unlock level 25 size class 10 capital vessel. Equipped with 110 fuel tanks, it has a total capacity of 603,900 fuel. And as you can see here, with the thrusters on but sitting still, not moving, I have over 104 hours of use. It comes equipped with 50 oxygen tanks, giving you a total of 100,000 O2 capacity, and needs 8,819 to fill it up. There's a total of 15 ventilators, 3 oxygen stations, 5 medic stations, and 2 clone chambers. For attack and defense, it has 4 plasma turrets, 4 rocket launchers, 4 rocket turrets, 2 artillery turrets, 8 sentry guns, 6 pulse laser turrets, 6 flak turrets, 6 minigun turrets, 6 cannon turrets, and 6 pulse lasers. There's also a total of 61 cargo boxes and 15 ammo boxes, along with the 5 fridges, 1 food processor, and 2 advanced constructors. Now this is a size class 10 unlock level 25 ship, so it can be expected to be a bit costly. However, you may notice that the 105,000 plus Sathium is a big jump from the 67,000 iron you're going to need. It also requires a significant amount of Erestrum and Zascosium, both of them totaling out to 8,408, and in comparison to those numbers, everything else should be no problem to get. So what is my opinion on this design? Well, I feel it is a good early attempt. It definitely could use some improving, primarily in the consistency of the signal logic throughout the ship. As you saw, there are numerous places where the lights and signs simply do not turn on, and that may just be this case where I spawned it in with this game, but as I said earlier, I did try reloading it a couple of times and it never changed. I also feel, like I said, that the hangar bay doors where the gaps are showing could be done better. The hangar bay door on the outside area of the hover vessel bay should be flush to some other blocks below it rather than having that gap. And of course, the skylight covers are a very nice idea, but I think they could be adjusted and implemented better where it reduces the gap between them, as well as reduces the fact that one of them sticks up and over the other one, making it look a little bit more fluid. Well, once again, this is the Far Searcher CV-10 by ericsody, and if you would like to check it out, I will have a link in the description below. Be sure if you try it out and like it to leave a thumbs up, and of course if you have any suggestions or any nice comments to make, be sure to leave them on the workshop page as well. That is it for today's workshop video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I will see you in the next video.